It's your boy, Mr. HandCrafted.
It's Breeze, man. Swift like the wind. How y'all doing?
And it's the I Don't Know Shit podcast.
I don't know shit.
So today we got a motherfucking special episode, man. We got a special guest today. I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are, what you do, and just like what they kind of expect that, like what we're going to be covering.
Well, you know, my name is Drama Simpson. My real name, government name, is Dijon, like the mustard, right? Me personally, you know, my goal is, because it's kind of tiny to what I do, is just to pretty much, you know, restore. You know, everybody plays their part in the restoration of our people. You feel me? So my whole thing is just trying to be able to do it in a way from a cultural standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is binded to culture. Religion, everything is binded to culture. And so in my mind, unless we get back to our original culture, we're going to still be running around with our heads between our legs. So I tried in plenty of different ways. I got a couple books out, like a Black History album. You know, I do a lot of other little stuff like that. Just try to lead by example. So pretty much I'm as pro-black as it get.
Okay, all right. Like that, bro. Like that.
We got another special guest. We got a lady in her house besides the wifey. Go ahead, tell us your name, and tell me if you could get high or drunk, what would your favorite place to be to do that? And tell me what the scene would look like, and please don't make it be the bathroom.
Oh.
Nah, bro,
I heard him say. He said she ain't doing nothing about it. She in and out. She gonna handle her business and she gonna.
Hey, bro, I'm in the bathroom.
So my name is Nesha, and anywhere if I could get higher drunk, it would be drunk, and I would have to say the island like Bora Bora or Maldives. It's islands, it's water, it's pretty,
Nice.
palm trees, fruit, just beautiful.
What if it
scenery.
was like low key Epstein Island?
Fuck,
You didn't know it.
I'm gonna have to get up out of there.
He just killed the whole fantasy.
You gone.
Well, I'm gonna say this. It ain't his island no more. That nigga dead.
Oh, yeah, he's gone.
Do you think he dead?
He dead.
He a billionaire, bro. I think they move different.
Yeah, definitely.
They might move
They
different.
definitely. I mean, they die like us too.
But
I know. I do.
But that bitch on trial and she on trial now because she was bringing in the girl, so she just as nasty as that motherfucker. So I hope he dead.
Why would they kill him but not kill her?
She ain't in jail yet. We don't know if she gonna die.
I think she's already talking though, or something like that.
She ain't even went to trial
Okay.
yet.
I don't know shit. All right. So I wanted to kind of cover like protests around the world and like this Black Lives Matter movement. And so like, first of all, the protests. Like, what do y'all feel about these protests? We gonna go around the room.
The local protests or the
we can cover both.
Both.
So like, kind of give you an idea on the local protests. Like, cause Portland, I didn't know this, but we've been protesting for 50 days straight.
They've been going crazy.
That's why
I didn't know that.
That's why they got on.
Hey man, I stay, you know, right around by the Ville, bro. They be over there thick.
Northside, shout out.
I did not know that Portland's been going crazy like that. I did not know that. And then I wasn't even watching the news. I was at the gym, and then they said something like Trump done sent in his people, and they snatched people up and throwing them in cars and shit like that.
Get him.
I did not know, bro. What the fuck is going on in the world?
Apple News, man. This shit was even on Apple News.
Yeah.
Well, we on Apple News.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I wanted Portland on the map, but I didn't want to live
Not
like
like
this.
that.
Not like this, bro. Hell no.
But you got to think about it though, man. I was born in Oakland, California. I grew up in Fresno, California.
Shout out.
Personally, you know, like you know how it's always like it's like this racial thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But me growing up, I ain't even gonna say, you know, that's something that as I got older, you feel me, I started to see because like once I came to Oregon, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I got to Portland, and I was staying in Tigard, I have no family out here. I was going to Wilson. When I came to Oregon, bro, I was completely culture shocked. Completely.
You gotta talk to the mic.
Completely. All right, my fault.
No, you good.
Okay, yeah, but when you look at it, like you said, you know, you wouldn't want it to be in that way. But when you think about it, you know what I'm saying, you think about, you know, you do if you do have these little uprisings and things going on in a place like this, you know what I mean? It's not gonna go unheard. You feel me? It's not. You know.
But for me, how do you guys feel about most of these protesters and the people that are rioting being white of the nationality?
They don't like
white.
Go ahead, y'all.
It doesn't matter.
I'll go first.
It don't matter.
I think
Y'all just
bullshit.
jump in. Just try not to speak over each other. You know what I mean?
I
Go
think
ahead.
it's some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Because they all white, you know what I'm saying, with this Black Lives Matter, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that's tearing up shit. It's not my people doing the shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I hope that they take a look at that. That's my biggest concern. Like,
I don't think they're going to, though.
They're not. I hope.
Like you said, have you ever saw the movie The Purge, the first one, the last one came out?
Yeah.
Remember when they situated in the black neighborhood? I mean, the black, like Staten Island or something, they closed down the island, right? This was supposed to be the first Purge, but it was like the last movie, right? So what happened was, you feel me, they take each other out, but we wasn't. So then they sent in mercenaries. You feel me? They sent in people to perpetrate these things, and it's behind a certain movement. So who was gonna foot the bill? Like, this is why it's bullshit, because we the ones gonna foot the bill. Because it started off on some victim shit, right? But all this shit is out of order, out of control, and people really thinking they gonna make an empire move like that, they gonna definitely do something about it. So to me, in my mind, you know, it's a bunch of bullshit pushing more towards, you know what I'm talking about? So in my mind, that's really what I think about it. It's some bullshit.
Sorry.
Yeah, I totally
What you
agree with that. Like, it is some bullshit, and then I don't like how the looting shit is going on, and then they only pointing it at us. Like,
They only
it's
pointing at us.
motherfucking cops out here
That's right.
looting
They
and
only
shit.
pointing at
that-
us.
Y'all not pointing
And
at
they getting
them.
them on camera. They getting them on camera. That's the fucked up part. They getting them on camera.
They
But they only pointing at
They're
us.
opportunists though, you know, like how because they're looking at, okay, because these things, you know, have been going on before all of our time. You feel me?
Before all
been
of
going
us,
on.
yes.
So, you know, I just look at it as, okay, well, they you know, they capitalizing on the movement. You feel me? To really, and then especially when you do see brothers and sisters out there, especially y'all out here rebels without a cause. You know what I mean? Y'all moving chaotic. Y'all don't got no organization. So it's gonna be much easier to, you feel me? Okay, well, we're gonna put them over here. And I saw a post a couple weeks ago. It was 3 in the morning. Don't even know what I was doing up. This female said, "Hey, I just saw some people over there, some white folks on MLK, busting out windows, not destroying property and things like that. You feel me? And then, you know, like I said, they're capitalizing on the time of the movement, and also, you feel me? So look at what time they move at 3 in the morning. When they come out and they see what's going on, when people come in the morning, they see all this shit all fucked up. They gonna be like, oh yeah, it was them. They ain't gonna think it was those white folks doing it. Like I said, you know, they just capitalizing on the movement. They have a bigger agenda. So for us, I feel like we should look at it and be like, okay, we need to get somewhat organized, somewhat together. You feel me? To have some type of defense.
So do you? So I'm not saying that's not true, but for me, it's like it would. So the movement would have to be like a whole bunch of people essentially like come in. I'm not saying that people aren't conspiring against the people. I know that for a fact that the government and other people have been conspiring against the people for years. Yeah. If you go even watch the movie 13th, about the 13th Amendment, it was done by Ava DuVernay. It's on Netflix. It basically just explains like how basically after slavery, big corporations turn prisons into essentially free labor.
Yeah,
and basically have.
Because we don't know our ancestors when they got out of slavery. You know, they're like, okay, yeah, we free, but they never knew what freedom was. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, the only thing that slavery did was just converting it to another method. You know what I'm talking about? That's it.
You know what's also crazy is I actually went and did my Ancestry.com or whatever, and I found out, bro, I'm Nigerian. I'm from Congolese or something like that. And then it's like Bantu people. Bantu people. Yeah. And then it's like I'm 10% or 10% European, nigga, like 9% Wales, 1% France.
That type of shit hurt me.
I thought that nigga.
Bro, that shit cried, nigga.
I was fucking with him. I said,
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is I never paid attention to it, but like when I just seen the first two, but when I was reading it to him, I was like, North Wales, 1%. Nigga, that's 10%.
Nigga, you speak French.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I ain't gonna lie to you. My mama did hers. You feel me? She had no European in her, right? So, and my dad, you know, they've always had oral. You know, I can trust my father. I can trust my father's back all the way up until slavery, probably up into the late 1700s. So there's a window where it could be. But me personally, I ain't doing that DNA because that'd murder me. I ain't gonna lie to you. That'll hurt me, man.
Bro,
That'll hurt me.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was emotional as shit, bro.
And he cut.
Hey, nigga, I was emotional. I don't know why, bro, but I told him.
You probably never thought about, like, you've heard people be like, man, everybody in America commits to that. But when you never thought, when it's that personal, you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Ain't no getting away from that.
I do mine.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit still kind of make me like.
Hey, bro, look, if I do mine, I got any cut in me, I'm gonna be like, why the fuck I didn't get it in my hair the whole time? Like, I grew up with that nappy shit, and you tell me I had some cut in me,
Right.
I didn't get no curl, nigga, no. I had to look
10%, that's a nice little chunk, man.
That's
Hey,
a
man.
lot,
Considering
bro.
the small amount of time, 400 years, whatever, that's a little chunk.
Bro, I am not happy about that.
So that just mean that they stole that piece. That was just.
Oh man, that did not make me feel.
That was just stolen.
Damn.
One of my coworkers was like, "We're long distance cousins." I was like, "Oh hell no!"
You need to stop. You need to stop, man.
He was joking, but that's still.
It's too fresh, man. It's too fresh. Chill out, man. Hold
Man,
on.
you scaring me because my grandma light as fuck.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that shit. I ain't gonna lie, nigga. Bro, I've had this test done for like months, bro.
Right.
But when I read it to him,
It dawned on you.
Right.
Bro,
That shit-
10%,
You ever hit the stomach?
bro. It still make me kind of like hot, bro. But
I don't know, because I don't know if y'all watched, but on one episode, the nigga told me I was light skinned, so I'm like, oh shit, I definitely.
That's what I'm saying. My grandma is lighter than him.
If he 10%, I'm probably like, nigga, I don't know, 45? You know what I'm saying?
bro, I'm telling you, bro, that shit made me sick, bro. That made me sick. I don't know why. I'm not racist. I ain't got nothing against white people, but
We can't be.
you're right. But still, I don't know. It just made me feel some type of way.
Right.
Bro, so what do you guys feel about this Black Lives Matter movement? We're not gonna go with you. We're not gonna start with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
We gonna start with, and then we gonna go around the room.
Okay.
Wifey gonna read some shit that we actually found off your shit. That video, we watched that video, and then we actually went to the page, and Wifey actually got some like real stats and shit like that. So we not quoting with like opinions and shit. I mean,
What about it?
it's in the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah. Wifey, baby.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I used to live a block with you.
Bro, nigga, that's yours. So nigga, don't be shy.
Thank you, so I'm not. No, sir, I will not be.
That's all you, brody. Take that to the neck if you want.
Alright, so my opinion on the BLM is like, man, once I found out what the original
Before the original, what was your true feelings on BLM?
I mean,
I guess you had to support everybody. I guess everybody.
Before I assumed it was for like.
So I was fucking with it. Sorry, go ahead.
No. That's why I was like, it's for black people. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a movement. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's around the Trayvon Martin thing, if I'm correct. I think that's around when I started hearing them. I think that's when I really start catching on. That's when I caught on to the Black Lives Movement and shit. And so I thought it was for not just black men but black women as well. You know what I'm saying? Black our elders and children too and shit. Until I found out the original meaning and shit. So now I'm I don't want to sound biased, but I'm like, it's not for me. It's not supporting me. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I didn't know feminism. I didn't know feminism didn't support men at all either.
Right. It's not supporting me.
I thought feminism was just like pro women. Like women are empowered too. Like they,
Right,
if they want,
let me too.
Right. It's not like I didn't think it was like.
I mean,
Fuck niggas.
Right.
When you look at us, just look at our plight since we've been here. Like we talk about systematically being destroyed, and you think about what are some of the things they did. Yeah, we know jail, we know drugs, we know gangs, but what? Taking a black man out the house, giving
Them
his
welfare.
responsibility to the woman, to the black woman. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, they've been pushing us out. They've been trying to push us out for a while.
But how? So why is it still that a lot of I feel like from personal experience, a lot of black women tear a lot of black men down.
I mean, post-traumatic, shit, it's the same way. It's both ways.
I'm not saying it's not. Yeah,
No, it's both ways. It's both ways, but it's more, to me as a black man, it's kind of more, like, let's take it like this. Take any other race, right? And if they tell any other race, tell an Asian lady, they tell a white woman, or they tell a Mexican lady, they're like, look, we're going to give you all these benefits, but you got to get him up out the house. You know what they're going to do? They're going to take that money and they're going to steal out their husband in the house. And they're going to bring it back because they understand the importance of a unit. As you know what I mean, so at the end of the day, like you said, we got these black women like, oh, I don't need no nigga. That's because you are dependent on the same motherfucker with their foot on my neck.
Yeah.
So they drive a wedge in between us, bro. You know what I'm talking about? So and then you gotta understand a lot of these black. My mother is a single mother, raised 5 boys, no girls, 5 boys by herself. You know what I'm talking about? She kind of got the right to be bitter at this point a little bit. I'm talking about, so it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
Yeah, I can agree it does go both ways, but it is a different change. There is some women that will keep the man in the house and then nigga you go and destroy it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, so they took you out the house and I brought your ass back and then you gonna destroy the house.
Yeah.
Like, then I gotta get you up out of here and whatever happens, happens. For me, it's just like, I'm not that girl. Like, I'm not gonna tear you down. I ain't about to tell you you ain't shit, none of that shit. I'm gonna try to uplift you. If you don't take heed to it, then you gotta fucking go.
Right.
I personally know a few women that have personally like.
I say about 75% to 80% of black women is like that.
Maybe a little bit over 85. 80%.
I know a lot of black women that choose to kind of like be single, like fuck a nigga. I don't.
Because they see their mom doing it, it's just like, shit, she did it, and.
But your mom,
Yeah.
when your mom really, I ain't gonna say your mom ain't shit, because you know what I'm saying, I respect people, but your mom really ain't a good
But that's your only
role
example.
model.
Yeah, that's your only example, and so was hers. So like you were saying, we go back 100 years before there was. We go to touch on the feminist thing. We go back to when, you know, when did this start happening? So let's talk about, because when they start putting women on this equal playing field. Quick story. I had a job, a demolition job one time. It was a female that she was a dyke female, right? She in there. We're all doing heavy labor, right? She goes and they got her doing baseboards. She get the same $15 out. How is that equal? How is that equal? So when you think about, that's when it started happening, because you go back 100 years ago, the man he might have 2 or 3 other women on the side. You know, the woman is not gonna be like, oh, fuck you, this and third, because she doesn't have the same I don't want to say rights. How's she gonna support a family? She gotta stay put. You know, so it kind of, now at this point it's kind of like, you know, and I do give respect to women, you feel me? But it's kind of like the man is supposed to be here. You feel me? So in the times that we live in, it's kind of like, okay, well,
as far as what though?
I mean, as far look, hey, if somebody coming in and finna break in that motherfucking house, who you finna tap this nigga out of sleep, right? I'm talking about, that's what. So from the standpoint of protector, I'm trying to be honest.
No, that's real.
But,
It's real, but if you ain't there, my nigga, I'm done.
Wait, time out. That's true. Let me tell you this, because let's dig a little bit deeper into when I talk about what are basically the ones that got their foot in our neck, how they helping y'all driving the wedge. So let's say when the dollar collapses, you know, the economic system changes. You ain't finna be saying I don't need no nigga. How you finna build a house? How you gonna protect your house? How the fuck you finna go get food?
Bro, I was talking about that shit on another episode. Because everybody I know talks about 401k. Put your money inside.
Man,
put it away. Blah, 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 blah. So check this out. From early 19, I think it was like 92, 93, $12.50, you'd be able to send your kids to school. You had a house. You had a car.
Right.
Off of $12.50, bro. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
One person cannot do that off of $20 an hour now.
No.
You can live okay, but you ain't sending nobody to college.
No.
So for me,
you gotta be fucking Beyonce and Jay-Z to do that.
The value of the dollar has depreciated so much. So why the fuck would I put a good chunk of money away that I can't touch? So I'm 28. I can't touch it till I'm 55, 60. So I can't.
And then it's gone.
Even more.
It's gonna be.
Why the fuck would I do that?
Nah.
For me, I've always been told you should create passive income.
Yeah.
Because if you create passive income,
generational wealth.
Not even that is always going to be the current value of whatever you're trading the value of is.
Or like you say, teach your kids how to cultivate the land.
Right.
Teach them how to fish.
Right.
Something that's going to immediately make them an asset. Something that can't be taken from them.
Right. Absolutely.
Skills. That trade shit. That's real.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
College is not all what it's hyped up to
It's
be.
not. It's not But if you know how to use it, it can be.
Right, because you can bounce
But
off.
everybody don't know how to tweak the
No, because
it-
once you get in there, you kind of like blinders on.
Bro.
This is, I've been depending on school. I've been depending on this, that, and the third. So you walk in a straight line, you don't know nothing else.
Right.
You don't know nothing else.
Because I think even if you get in that little circle, the people you'd be able to network and move with, it's just a whole different
Oh,
experience.
It's messy.
Oh, yeah.
It's messy, but I feel like if you got that mindset
If
for
you-
that
yeah.
shit, anything can be fucking messy,
Yeah.
bro. Going to church can be messy.
Y'all saw that. You saw that. Y'all saw that movie that I think Nip had touched on. I watched the movie far before he talked about it. The Spook to Somebody Though.
I've never seen it.
Bro, the damn CIA agent. This guy who was running for office, white guy. He was running for office, and they didn't have the black vote. He's like, "How do we get the black vote?" He said, "Man, I thought we had the black vote." He said, "You know what? We're gonna hire a black CIA agent, the first one." So they got about 50 black men to go through all of this training. Only one makes it. And he does his thing, he follows right protocol. And in 5 years, when they kind of give him a little bit of leeway, he goes back to Chicago. He was a gang member in Chicago. He trains the gangs on how to move, how to move more like how these motherfuckers talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then that went to about 10, 15 cities, all the major cities. And then at one time they all hit, we are gonna attack or do some shit at one time, and it crippled America. It crippled them. Organization is a motherfucker, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Why?
I can't.
But for me, it's like, why? That even goes, all right, so that goes to, like, conspiracy theory in a way.
Yeah.
So, like, all right, we gotta
That's
go.
not what I say about movies. Every movie is based
They
on
put
some
that-
type of truth.
Oh yeah, they put that shit in there. It's on your ass.
But even I even go as far as like aliens and shit like
oh yeah,
that.
totally.
Oh yeah. Oh no, see ya.
Yeah.
I have a oh my goodness.
I mean,
Bro.
where do you think they get the ideas?
Bro, they have to get it from somewhere.
You've had to witness something before you can
have-
claim it.
Or honestly, we sit at this table. Our education on the world, and it's how far does it go back? Because before we was here, at one time, many moons ago, when we were the ones running the world, and the education we had, we understood things to a whole nother level. So the fact that this education was done away with, you think that you think that they don't know? You feel me? Things that we sitting here talking about.
I
right
seen
now.
a meme that said that they know who you are.
Oh,
You
they
know
know.
who you
They
are.
know, and that's why with the alien thing, that's the biggest conspiracy theory to me. Because to me, in my mind, I know what's up there. I know that this is heaven. And why, like in all of the alien movies, invasion movies, the aliens only want to come and kill everything, destroy everything, and not only that, the whole world is banded up against them. That's God, bro. They trying to get you. They're conditioning you to be against God.
That's a good theory.
I ain't never heard it put like that.
I've never
I
either.
never heard like
No.
that.
So for me, let's go back to the Black Lives Matter movement.
Okay, yeah, where was we at? Was it you? Or
Yeah, it
was
was
it
on
you?
me.
And it was you.
It was you.
I
I ended with me though.
It was him, but it was moving to me.
No, we ended with me. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. So Black Lives Matter. What do you?
Before I knew
So for
what
the-
it was, for the very first time, I ain't gonna lie, I'm the type of person where I like to do research. So it's just like, oh, cool, this, rah, rah, they saying it for us. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, what white person put money in on this?
I didn't
Right.
think that.
So
I didn't think that either.
I didn't.
Not gonna lie to you.
Because I do, it's just like and then I think of it as something senseless happened for this movie that they're like, oh, well, they're always talking about slavery, they're always talking about this, we haven't given them reparations, so let's give them something
Right.
so they can shut the fuck up.
Right.
Right. I feel you.
So my thing was just like, these some niggas outside.
I can feel that.
And some white man is getting paid for it.
Oh yeah, we definitely not.
And then when I looked it up, it was just like, it's these two gay bitches.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like 3 or
That is-
5 or
yeah.
something like that.
yeah,
I ain't got nothing against gay people, but
I didn't know that
Yeah.
until 20.
I don't have anything against gay people either, but it's just weird how it seems
they
like,
were feminists, right?
They are, but I just
Yeah.
I think it's weird how all these groups are trying to talk about equal rights and trying to be like these just made normal, but it almost seems like all of them are a direct attack on black males.
yes.
Like,
Of course, they want to
Bro,
destroy the black man.
So how do you destroy the black? How do you destroy the black race?
I think it's take out the women first.
No, but
No.
the life comes from you. The life comes from you. That
Right.
it's alive already.
Right.
The women cultivated it, but the life comes from you.
But
and where the
so
structure is supposed to be.
so did the woman come first or the man come
No,
first?
the man came first because look, I'm gonna tell you like this. This is how because look, the Most High don't make no inadequate creations, right? So I'm just gonna take away the Adam and Eve story, right? I'm gonna give you straight logic. So if you have a woman first, like this is why I tell people, bro, that life is in the man first. The life is in the man first.
From the sack, yeah.
It's in the man first. And then you look at, I'm just talking about from a physical standpoint, you know, and a lot of, because honestly, you know, I don't, like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from women at all. You know what I mean? But when you look at it, you look at how men and women are built differently. You know what I'm saying? You look at, if you were building something, I'm not saying a woman is a delusion at all of a man, right? She's complete, it's different. But when you're building something, I'm talking about, look at how men is built, bro.
Yeah.
Look at how, come on, bro, that's what I'm saying. And also going to the, you know, the life. You know, and so if we have to put life into y'all for y'all to bring life out, so why would we not be first?
I just, because for me, like, say like,
that kind of contradicts everything.
But for me, it's like if I nut in the air, ain't shit gonna happen. Nigga, it's just gonna be nut in the air.
No. Time out. Let me finish this statement. Do you know right now that they have artificial incubators?
Yes.
No, but they don't have artificial sperm. You can't. The life.
No.
That is the life. That is the beginning, bro. You cannot fake sperm, bro. That is life. That's like faking blood. Blood is life.
Nah, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
So,
but I've always thought the beginning of creation always started with a black woman.
she was the mother of everything. She's the mother of everything. But there had to be life put into her. There had to be. So if you're gonna create something, she's dormant until that life's put into her, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
She was completely dormant.
That's right. That is like a logical thing. But if you put God into the play,
if I depict from the Bible and here it is, you know, God came. He didn't stick no dick in her.
No, he didn't. No, let me tell you something also. When we talk about the Bible, we talk about how Adam was there, right? Then he said, look, it's not good for man to be alone. I'm going to make you a helpmeet. Now, I think from that standpoint, you created man, right? So then you have a woman. You know, we have the same, you know, type of, you know, we have all the same shit, right? Mm-hmm. But then you see she's a little bit more calmer. She's a little bit more, so when I look at it logically, I'm thinking, okay, well, why would God create the big brute and expect for him to be first? Why would you not create him first? Like I said, it's life. Like nothing, like I say, nothing can be dead before it's alive. That's why I don't follow the New Year's shit. How the fuck is we got New Year's in fucking January when shit is fucking dead?
It's April.
Thank you. Springtime.
Yep, spring equinox.
That's the beginning of the year. Spring equinox. After spring, that's the beginning of the year. Because that's when everything is starting over. That's definitely. So because like I said, how can something be dead before it's alive? That doesn't even match with the fucking program of the earth. It doesn't. You have to be alive before you die.
Right.
Every single thing. So that's just kind of my take.
So, all right, we still need to go to Black Lives Matter.
Oh, you said
so, wifey, we got some facts, and we just want to educate. So, for me, I'm not with Black Lives Matter either. Mm-hmm. At first, I was because I feel like a lot of times when something happens to a black person, it's like by nature you have to feel like you have to
sorry for it.
Not even feel sorry, but it's like. Even like when we watching Family Feud, nigga, it's a black and a white person. You always
because we've been underdogs.
Yeah, and for me, it's just like so. Anytime I see something that's like pro-black, I always immediately am trying to. I always gravitate to it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But when I first seen that, it was like for me, it made me happy that it wasn't something like.
When did you first see it? Was that the same about 15, 16 or something?
What was that?
That was when the Ferguson shit. That was like 15, right? 16, something like
16,
that. 16.
I think for me it was about high school.
I think I seen it with.
I think high school.
And so that was probably about, what was that?
No, that's high school. 15, 16 is high school. Bro.
No, for you.
What was Trayvon Martin?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's not, bro.
Yeah, because it is.
You just said you was how old?
So 15, 16 is high school, right?
No. 05, 06, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. You lost, bro.
15, 16, bro. We 25, 26 at this time. 24, 20.
Yeah.
I was born 1990.
You're saying 15, 16 like year? 15, 16.
Yeah.
Alright, nigga.
Oh, you was talking about
age.
We're sorry, y'all.
Sorry about that. Sorry. I thought you were saying the age.
Okay, right.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. No. We were not on the set. I was like, nigga.
2015.
I was like, nigga, you smart as hell. Or you got held back a whole bunch.
Right.
You in middle school? 15, 16?
Right. Yeah.
For me, I don't know, bro. That shit, after, I was just, before you came, bro, I went on your page and I found a whole bunch of shit that, like, I want to talk about and go over and cover. I did a little bit of research on my own.
Right.
And like one of the things that I found was the Black Lives Matter thing. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, no way, bro. Like, I've always heard rumors about it. Like, you'll hear like Candace Owens say some shit like that. Or you'll hear somebody like throw it out there. And it's like, for me, it's like, when I hear something, I try to like take it and then do my own research and develop my own opinion before I just hear something and just run with it.
As you should.
So like I've never really stuck that shit until I fucking saw that video and then Wifey fucking looked up some facts. So we're gonna have Wifey go ahead and just read what we found and then after we gonna rap about it. Okay. Go ahead, love.
Alright, so this is from the Black Lives Matter movement website and it's coming from their About Us. So it started with 3 black lesbian females and they say, our intention from the very beginning was to connect black people all over the world who have shared desire for the justice to act together in their communities. Our continued commitment to liberation for all black people means we are continuing the work of our ancestors and are fighting for our
Shit, I'm trying.
and are fighting for our collective freedom because it is our duty. We are guided by the faith that all Black lives matter, regardless of actual or perceived sexual identity, gender expression, economic status, ability, disability, religious beliefs or disbeliefs, immigration status, or location. We make space for transgender brothers and sisters to participate and lead. Then they say, we are self-reflexive and do the work required to dismantle cisgender privilege and uplift black trans folk, especially black trans women. We build a space that affirms black women and is free from environments in which men are centered. We disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. We foster a queer affirming network. Black liberation movements in this country have created room, space, and leadership mostly for black heterosexual cisgender men, leaving women, queer, and transgender people and others either out of the movement or in the background. As a network, we have always recognized the need to center the leadership of women, queer, and trans people. Then at the very bottom, they say Black Lives Matter was developed in support of all black lives.
That's on my
So I wanna go first and I wanna describe what a cisgender person would be. So first, a cisgender male or female is a person that identifies with the sex sex that you were given at birth. So if you are born with a vagina and you are called a vagina, you're called a woman at birth, you're considered a cisgendered woman.
That's
That's
not natural. Wait, say what we're talking about.
So basically, cis means like you identify with what you're born as. So like say like. So
you was born a man, so
you're a man. So now you are considered a cis man. It's almost like they gave us like.
Why can't it just be man?
They gave. I don't know. They gave us like a title to make it almost like it's like a derogatory thing.
They put us in categories.
Right. So they gave us. Right. So basically, if somebody ever says like, oh, you're thinking like a cis man. That's like you're just thinking like a over masculine. Like you're just like. It's like it's a very derogatory. In a way, it's like calling like it's like.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. It is.
So a lot of people don't know that, but like so cis. If you identify as a cis, a male or female, being male really don't fuck with you.
Huh. Wow.
That's basically what they just said. They do not identify with the structure.
So I gotta be lesbian, trans,
or queer.
You can't be no straight man.
You can't be
no straight black
or a straight woman.
Or a straight woman.
You see.
Right. So when you ask yourself, question is why.
Wow,
It all goes back to destroying us completely.
Right.
So let me tell you something. Like how I did when y'all say I have nothing against gay people, right? Now look, my thing is this: from a natural standpoint, we have a responsibility on Earth to procreate.
Yeah.
So when you sex, the number one purpose for sex is to procreate. To be honest, everything outside of that is irresponsible.
So not for pleasure?
No, sure, yes, that's
Well,
why
yeah.
it feels good. No. Yes, pleasure. That's why.
That's why it's pleasure.
Yes, pleasure, but at the same time,
I would
when you
say,
think
well,
you think about the end results, or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So like I say, the fact that I don't have to somebody like I don't have to point into the Bible because I understand what God the Creator was trying to say as far as the first commandment He gave men was be fruitful and multiply. So we all have everybody has a law that they're supposed to follow. You got plants, they follow their laws in due season. You got trees, the sun and the moon, they all do what they're supposed to do. Why not us? So when we ask the why.
There's also gay animals though. There's gay.
But listen, gay what?
Like there's
Gay
like
what?
there's
never seen it.
Bro,
Bro,
you that deer, bro?
no, there's like gay
Deer
dogs, bro. There's
No,
gay.
let me tell you something.
There's gay people.
Time out though, bro. We understand it. And all these, you talking about domesticated dogs? They are a hybrid anyway. Because every dog's root, the original dog was a wolf. So everything, all these different splices of dogs, they are already
hybrid.
genetically
Fucked off
so
anyway.
shit. Exactly.
They already.
He said
Hey, look. He's a retard. He's a reject. That is a reject. He's a reject. He's a reject.
Hey,
Spike's a reject.
Spike's a reject. But that's crazy. What you said? You said assist?
A cis male
Yep.
or a
Yeah,
cis female
I didn't
is
fucking know that.
a person that identifies.
But it's not just a natural thing. Like you born with this.
Like,
that's
So
what
I'm
it's
a male,
basically
female.
it's almost like it's a bad thing. So like if you're not a woman and you don't identify as like gay or queer
Right, I'm
or
not a part of it.
lesbian, they look at you as a cis female and you're just like it's almost like it's a bad thing.
Huh.
So
Yeah,
you're a
right.
cis male, I'm a cis male, you're a cis male.
Yeah.
You identify with the sex that you were given with at birth.
Right, and
Go ahead.
We go to this table. It's like, can I sit with y'all? Nah.
Nah, nigga,
So-
You can't. You not
And-
gay.
and-
You not trans.
And they said they do not identify with the Western idea of like the household or hierarchy. Like basically, they do not identify with
That's
the
what I'm saying.
man being the head of the
The
household,
question
and
is
they
why.
do not support.
Well, I will say this. I mean, yeah, the man is head of the household, but I personally feel like it should be equal because I'm not a tail.
No.
The man is the head of the gay relationship.
No, wait. Well, let me say something. Let me say something, sis. Sis, check this out. You said you feel like it should be equal. So, in order, we all need to have roles. Look, you see a lot of these young black brothers. Sure, the original thing their daddy wasn't there. You feel me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you look at it, how many black mothers are successfully raising black boys into successful black men?
Not like
really.
me.
So my point is everybody has roles. Everything in the world has
Right.
roles. And
I agree with you. If I had a son, I would
Hey,
let
can
the
I ask you
man
something?
lead that.
Could you beat up the average man? So how are you equal to him? Honestly,
I
we
can
talking
shoot
about.
him.
But that's cool.
Wait,
That's cool.
she might be like the new average man.
That's the one. Yeah.
I just feel
I
like
might.
No, but sis, in your defense.
Right, you're right. In the defense, I cannot physically beat up a man.
But in your defense, though, I understand. A black woman, especially a single black woman's plight. So, but I also will say that, in this society, you feel me? They have taken every right that we're supposed to have and given to y'all, and it's for a reason. And look, and the thing about it is, if we're looking at how are we going to pick our people of our race, our root, I hate when I hear black women say, "I don't need this." Da 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 da. And you know why you don't need them? Because the same motherfucker you depending on is motherfucker with their foot on my neck.
Right. Now, I don't say I don't need him.
No.
I hate that shit.
You're right. So my whole thing is everything in the world has the sun and the moon is one is motherfucking man leader. I mean, like, as far as like bright, you got the sun, you got the moon. I'm talking about everything.
Galaxies,
Everything has roles, and the reason why why our families are so fucking broken continually, is because we are not abiding by roles, men and women. men and women.
I feel like so in my.
I was gonna bounce off of him. Like
Go
I
ahead,
get
go
what
ahead.
he's saying, and I get what you're saying about how women say they don't need him. But as far as a man being the head of the household, I agree with that. Yes, you can be head of the household. You can leave me, motherfucker. But don't leave me in the dark.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Because
And
how I'm
women
gonna
say
let
that.
you
Why women
lead
say
and then
that?
you failing
You
me
fuck-
every time.
Exactly. And so
he's not leaving.
what I'm exactly, he leads us to destruction. So in a perfect world, without us being, because I believe that we are under curses as a black people. You know, we'll get into all that later on. But so in a perfect world, I don't mean that a woman is any less significant than a man for a child or for a family or whatever. But just the roles. You know that you got certain roles, you got certain things. Like my mom was saying last night, I was at Lincoln Park. My mom was saying last night, you know, the woman, you know, God said he, you know, Adam needed to help me. You know, so my mom was like, bro, the woman is the one that's gonna come and clean up the details. You know what I'm talking about? Because we'll have an idea, and we're gonna go about this, and that, third, and we might be headstrong. But that woman, she gonna make sure motherfucker got food packed up. She gonna make sure motherfucker got clothes, drawers. She make sure motherfucker got soap. All these.
Shit, you tell her that idea, she might actually be like, hey, put some wings on that motherfucker. The Red Bull got
So
wings.
I agree with that. Like for me, like for a good woman, like for me, it's like she'll let me be so much in my head to try to develop shit.
Right.
She kind of pick up the pieces a little bit.
Right.
And it's like with me and my wife in my situation, it's like there's no real sense. Like we kind of, like you said, we play our roles,
Right.
but we kind of fall into them as they come.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if there's something I lack in, she kind of like picks up the back.
Right.
And
That's
if I lack
supposed
it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like that's why we
Mhm.
piggyback and it works for us.
Right.
And I just feel like there's a lot of men just feel like, I feel like, all right, so do you feel like there's such thing then as toxic masculinity?
Toxic.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Okay, if it's anything misguided, it's toxic. You feel me? Anything misguided. So
I respect that.
Motherfucker ain't got
Women
no,
toxic.
motherfucker ain't got no. If he ain't got no planet, he coming there with all this bravado and shit. Bro, we going to hell in a handbasket fast. You feel me? So that is true. So like when we talk about, so that was a great question because there is a such thing because you have to allow your woman to be a woman, and this is one thing that I say to black women all the time. I know it's hard because of the shit that y'all been through, but you have to allow that man to be a man. You have to allow him. You have to. You know what I'm talking about? Not anyone. Like you made a point earlier about, man, I'm gonna leave you, leave me this and that and the third. You know, and I was talking to my mom about this last night. That's why anciently, you didn't pick your own. You wasn't finna pick your own husband because you're gonna choose off of lust. You're not. Your father would choose because he knows who's good for you.
That makes sense. But people always made it seem like it was like, I never thought of it like that. Because if...
Yeah, we do. But I think that's equal. But men choose women out of.
No, I'm not saying
No, because it was also like you know how I study anciently. You know the first wife. A lot of times the dad, even if the dad and mom didn't choose him, they would have to approve of him. You feel what I'm saying? So it's the same thing because we're kids. We're growing up.
First wife.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I caught that part.
Yeah,
I caught that.
No,
part.
but listen, no, but
First wife. So, how many you get?
Oh.
I want 3.
As long as you can take care of.
No,
all
look,
households,
you know,
right?
yeah, exactly. You know, but back when we was in control of shit, like we was talking about earlier, controlling your own economic system. You know, we was blessed abundantly to have a lot of cattle. We was able to trade. We had so that's not a question. We was gonna be able to take care of it. That wasn't the question. But going back to, you know, we've been so brainwashed. That's why I say everything boils back down to a culture. To culture.
Right. We hella off. We hella off. Right. But what we about to do is audible. How do we fix that, bro? We talk about that shit all the time on previous episodes. How do we fix that?
I started this off in my introduction talking about culture. We have to return to original culture because look, everything is binding. Look, let me tell you something. Let's think about, well, since we've been here, the holidays and all these things that we follow, right? You know what I'm saying? Not only is it not historically for us, we don't net any money from it. There's no tradition for us as far as that. Like, y'all know it? Do you know the true origins of Halloween? No. Do you know the true origins? If you knew them, you probably would never dress your kids up again. It's completely. And it was the day they called that, like, that was the Halloween. Hallows Eve was like the day where the dead was closest to the earth, and they were like the veil was open, and like all this weird ass human sacrificing, all that weird shit. Exactly. And
I thought it started off like with a Hispanic thing.
No.
That's Day of the Dead.
No, that's Day of the Dead.
I thought that's where it came from.
And that's native. And that's native, really, because we know Hispanics, is a hybrid.
I thought they were native.
No, they're
Original.
Mixed with, no, native. Like the Mexican person is either you're gonna be the dark skin ones. They're more native, right?
Yeah.
The light skin ones they more European. So a Mexican is a hybrid race. You are native and Spaniard, whatever the hell. That is.
I was told some of the first settlers in Mexico were West African.
Oh yeah, but when
Everything.
when it was black supremacy, look how shit is now. At one point, we ran this whole. The earth was created for us, bro. So we ran this motherfucker completely. So you don't think we was everywhere?
I don't think we. It's not that we weren't everywhere. I don't know. I feel like isn't black supremacy bad?
No. You know why it's not bad?
What?
You know why it's not bad? Because we the big brothers of this earth.
So why isn't white supremacy bad?
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. You see your melanin right there? Let me just give you a quick crash course. You see your melanin right there, bro? This right here, this absorbs the vitamin C from the sun. But it also blocks the UV rays, so we ain't gotta put on sunscreen and shit like that.
Nope.
You were created for this motherfucking goddamn. This was you. You are to move in harmony with. That's why.
Nigga sound light skin.
Now you still got.
You got Melvin.
You got Melvin. But my point is this. How he was saying about how do we fix it? How do we da 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 da. And when you get back to the original culture, everything like I don't do religion, bro. I don't do religion. You know what I'm saying? So everything for me got to be 100. So for me in my mind, we have to. You've been pretty good on history. You see what happened to Babylon? What happened to Persia? What happened to fucking Greece? What happened to Rome?
Turkey.
What happened to Egypt? All them motherfuckers
all
failed.
come.
They all failed. So you think that America ain't gonna fall at some point? So we are so entrenched in being okay. America's this, that, and the third. Okay, we adopting this.
Wasn't that in a different day and age though?
Yes and no, but yes, it was a different day and age.
You
But
ever read The Richest Man in Babylon?
No, I haven't.
it was a different day and age, but at the same time, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is that, look at what's happening to the world. Look at the state that the world is in. Is it because of the animals? Is it because of the sun? Is it because of anything else? But
It's
because of
us.
us.
It's because of us.
Right.
Shit.
So it has to be the way that we're living. So when I say return to original culture.
So what if? So all right. What if?
I don't see it.
What if we?
You don't see what?
What if we?
I don't see it happening.
No, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna be able to do
We're
it.
not gonna see it.
No, we're not gonna be able to do it. It has to be divine, bro. Because
So-
it has to be divine.
So you feel like even if these rich motherfuckers that I feel like are the people that's really fucking up the world,
Yeah.
do you feel like if they wasn't as crooked and corrupt and
Right.
sick as they was,
Right.
the world? I
Yeah,
feel
no.
like that they're the reason.
No.
For instance, like we have the capability right now
Right.
of using everything solar.
Right.
We have literally the capability of everything.
Right.
We do not need gasoline
Right.
or oil
Right.
ever again. We can literally stop drilling in a hole,
Right.
stop shifting
Right.
plates, stop really almost literally causing the end of Earth.
Right.
We can literally,
Right.
we can do that like tomorrow.
Right.
Yep.
So for me, it's like the choices of making the world a better place are here. We're not choosing them. But it's like, I don't feel like a motherfucking having gay sex or being gay has anything to do
No.
with the.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I
No,
mean?
I understand what you, but you feel me?
Then stop procreation.
But you exactly.
No, you're absolutely right.
And you,
I just feel like that because it's like I know a lot of gay people,
Right.
and it's like I've had conversations with
Right.
them, and they legit have told me like if I could not be, I wouldn't.
No, but listen to me.
And it's
Like you said, listen to me. This is a culmination of everything. So what if God started the world and says shit? If he didn't make the commandment, be fruitful and multiply. When you see in the Torah when Most High said homosexuality is abomination, it's deserving of death. We
Right.
get so emotional. But think about it from a creator standpoint.
Right.
I created y'all to continue this shit this way. It's not just the gay sex and all that. Think about everything else. That's just one thing.
Right.
We think about everything else that's happening to the world, that's being done to the world, and this shit it can't be conducive to our longevity. It can't be.
no, absolutely.
It can't be. So
No.
that's what I say. For me, we keep on trying to. I think we don't look at the facts of how we like everything is binding to culture. That's like my slogan, bro. We don't have our original culture.
All right, check this out. We gonna go to one of your things I put off your Facebook. All right.
Yeah.
So this is one of your things about. Once again, the Sabbath is not Saturday.
Right.
And that has a pagan origin.
Right.
The Most High told us that in Genesis 1:14 through 7, that we are supposed to use the sun and the moon for signs and seasons, days and years.
Yeah.
And that being said, and then you kind of give the breakdown
Right.
on how, if you lived in Portland, how you could use how you could basically like tell what is what.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you know what's crazy is like I was like, shit, that makes sense.
Right.
And so I ended up running into the dude that was supposed to come last time.
Right.
I ended up running into him like last Friday at Antoine. And you see me rapping him for 2 hours. This is one of the things we was talking about.
Right.
So I had read this to him, and I was telling him, like, he was asking me basically, like, who you were. And I was telling him, and I was, like, reading some of his posts. And he was like, what is he talking about?
Right.
And I was like, and I read it to you, and he pulled out his Bible. We found it in his thing.
Right.
And he was like, well, tell him to keep reading. And so we went to Genesis 1:31, 2 through 2. Chapter 2, verses 2.
Right.
And it says, God saw everything, and he had made, and it was very good. There was evening, and there was morning. It was day 6.
Mhm.
So the heavens and the earth and everything in them completed.
Yeah.
By the 7th day, God had finished his work he had been doing, and on the 7th day, he rested from all of his work. God blessed the 7th day and made it holy. He rested on it.
Yeah.
And after he created everything, he rested from all of his work he had done.
Right.
And so he was telling me that, like, this is, so he was like reading the whole thing to me,
Right.
and then he ended up reading that part to me.
Right.
And then basically he was saying that he said God finished all his work on the 6th day. That's when God finished all his shit.
Yeah.
So he was saying that the 6th day is the Sabbath, or Saturday is the Sabbath.
Wait.
No.
Okay. So my thing is,
But then wait,
Go ahead.
Christians say, because right here it says, by the 7th day, God finished his work and he had been doing.
Yeah.
So on the 7th day, he rested from all his work. He blessed the 7th day and made it holy. For me, let me give you a disclaimer from the beginning. Like, I no disrespect, no, I don't necessarily believe in the Bible because I feel like the Bible is stepped on. This is that re-rock part. This is that baking soda shit.
I also feel like that's not even the original one.
But listen to me.
That's what I'm saying.
But listen to me. So it tell you that he rested on the 7th day. Let me show y'all something. I got 3 right here. Let me show y'all something. This is a new one. Y'all done seen this little crescent before, right?
Wait, let me.
Moon phase.
Mark, can you hold this up to the camera?
Y'all done saw that little crescent before. You done saw a little crescent. And so that by the 6th day, we'll see close to a half moon. Our ancestors would have known, okay, that's a Sabbath. And they'll know which one it was based on which side the moon was on. And then the second week, because the moon, for 14 days, the moon is trying to get to full.
Can you make sure you...
Oh, my fault.
No, you good, right?
For 14 days, the moon is trying to get to a full moon. Then 14 days after that, it's decreasing. So you see this, I got about 100, I've been doing this for 3 years.
Right.
This right here is tried and true. This proves God. It proves the Bible. There's no way that you can dispute this. There's no way you can dispute this. So when you say the 7th day, it's just because the method, the formula was taken out of the Bible. So when the Most High said in Genesis, think about it. He said, you talking about the sun and the moon. He said, he said, let them be for signs, seasons, days, and years, right?
Right.
So
He
listen.
said months.
And yeah, and months. And look, think about it. This is in the first book of the Bible. So we gonna lay
This is like the first page.
This creation.
This is like the first page, first like 2 pages.
Exactly, it's creation. So when you think, so they put the formula inside the book of Enoch, chapter 72 and chapter 73, on how.
But Enoch isn't one of those books that was taken out.
It was taken out.
They took that out.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So
a lot of people don't even know that.
Exactly.
You can't find it.
So at the end of the day, when I talk about when I talk about original culture, you know what I'm talking about? This, you know why this is important? The same with the sun. Because the sun brings forth, lets you know what seasons you in. Yeah, I'm talking about, we will understand how to cultivate the land. We will understand what was coming. We will understand so much based on the sun and the moon.
Bro, we was talking about this before you even came. We were so in tune with the land. We used to talk and communicate with animals.
Yes.
I was telling them about the General Hannibal, how he took over the world with fucking elephants.
Yeah.
Oh, you know how hard it is to move an elephant? He took that motherfucker elephant from Africa all the way through Europe, nigga.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's all.
Yeah, so my thing would be this. It had never said on what you were talking about.
Yeah.
There has never been a time in the Bible where he said Saturday was the Sabbath. Because we gotta understand we're under Gregorian.
No, he did not say
We're
that.
under Gregorian,
Yeah.
whatever you call Gregorian calendar.
Yep.
This shit that's some new shit. We're talking about creation.
Right, because if
The
our
beginning.
ancestors came back here and said,
So-
we said, nigga, it's Saturday, they're going to be
Wait, but what the fuck is Saturday?
What the hell
What the
is
fuck
that?
is Saturday?
They would say that. Wouldn't they say that to all the days though?
But yes,
They
but,
would.
but yes, but you know what? You know how? You
get
know,
their ass up
but
and work.
yeah, they is.
Nigga, I'm resting
Look,
tomorrow.
Look, but
They knew night was for rest, and
And-
when the sun rises.
But in the Bible it says that
The same day.
it also says that God took some light out of heaven and he gave them two pieces of light. The biggest piece of light was for the
First-
day, and then
and
the smaller
the
piece.
sun, because they both rule. That's why I
Right,
say
it's
that's
set.
that's
The
why
sun
when
and the moon
Look,
is
the
what
same
they're
the
talking
same way,
about.
the same way that Jake said they tell y'all 3 a.m. is a new morning. How is that when the sun isn't ruling? Day is synonymous with light. You know, so for you to say 12 a.m. is a new day, that is saying that light is equal to darkness, and that is impossible.
So what if it is? What if they're going off of a particular geographical location? Like, what if in Africa at 3 a.m. it is sunlight?
But when you're there, but that's the thing, we not there.
We on
so
different
we're in the Western Hemisphere. We get this. We understand the sun and the moon by both rise in the east and they set in the west. So they're going to get all that shit first.
So I have another question that kind of like it kind of ties in, but it kind of so we're going back. You said that black supremacy is not bad.
Yeah.
White supremacy is bad.
Yeah.
I think supremacy of any kind, women, men, color, gender, whatever. I kind of think is bad.
Right.
And I also kind of think so like when you go back to like saying like we as humans are different.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back to Pangea before the world
Before
split,
yeah.
and you go to like geographical, wouldn't we all have been in one location?
but-
And the only reason that essentially there are
There's so many
white
places.
no, not even so many places, but essentially there are white people is because of how far from the equator they moved.
No, sir. If you go through, you just did your DNA, right?
Yeah.
You did your DNA. I'm gonna say something,
Right.
You know, cause we gloves off. I'm gonna say something. Look, they use the same DNA to tell you that anybody that is not sub-Saharan African, they have Neanderthal DNA, which is subhuman. Subhuman. So we are not the same. We are not the same.
Some of them come out with tails.
They do. No, black people.
No.
We are the only gender that can make
So when I say
a black male and a black woman can make an albino baby. A white woman and a white
everything
man
comes
can't
from.
make
That's why I
a
say
black baby.
exactly. When I say supremacy, if we were put here on Earth first, the Earth was given to us. We should be the big brothers. So if there's any supremacy,
But
it should be us.
what I'm saying, if you go back to before the world even split, we